Hello again, Internet. Welcome back to Renegades React. We're back again, and we are we're watching some Cinema Sins. This is Everything Wrong with Jurassic World in 15 minutes or less. This comes fresh off the heels of us watching How It Should Have Ended Jurassic World, which they did address the running in heels, and I wonder if Cinema Sins is going to do the same with this one. Probably. So it's a pretty big complaint, along with several other things. Knowing Cinema Sins, they're going to pretty much tear this one apart, at doing what they normally do. But any predictions on how many sins there are going to be?
I don't think it'll break 100. I don't know.
You don't think it'll break 100? Okay. Well, because he does remove sins. He does remove sins every night. He's been doing that. They've been doing that now more than ever. Especially, you remember the Godzilla one?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Where Godzilla breathed into the Muto's mouth, and it's like, ring, 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 ring. It takes off like 5 sins.
I think that'll happen when the T-Rex comes out.
Oh.
Spoiler
Yeah.
alert.
Oh,
Duh.
yeah.
If they haven't seen the movie, I mean, come on. It's like,
Yeah, of course.
It's like, what are you doing here?
Plus, it's a Jurassic Park movie. There should be a T-Rex. Oh, wait.
As always.
Jurassic Park 3.
That one still makes me mad. T-Rex would have killed Spiny. I'm sorry. All right, so you ready?
I am ready.
Let's do it.
Don't forget about the scenes of the end, Nate.
I won't.
There's a scene after video, guys. Duh.
50 seconds of logos. Also Comcast.
Well, yeah.
Extremely CGI Bertosaur.
Boys, let's do this!
Well, it's not a Jurassic Park movie if there's not a kid obsessed with dinosaurs. Just once I want to see how a kid obsessed with Star Trek fares on an island full of dino predators.
Is that
Also,
really a
Viewmaster
sin?
foreshadowing. Judy Greer doesn't have a bigger role in this scene. Holy,
I agree.
it's the kid Tony Stark gave all those gifts to. No wonder he's a daydreamer.
That is a
But, hey,
sin.
let's be honest. At least his home life turned around, am I right? I mean, he's got his own room now instead of having to sneak off to the garage.
Yourself a merry little Christmas.
Looks like Beats product placement has even infiltrated the Tony Bennett music videos. Apparently the public is warm to the idea of a huge dinosaur amusement park, but it's still one you have to take a flight to Costa Rica and a ferry to another island to see. With names like Zach and Gray, I know for sure I'm not going to like these kids. Jurassic Tennis.
Jurassic Tennis.
I remember that reveal. That was freaking awesome.
Damn, the music for this scene is so obvious they stole our outtake.
Welcome to Jurassic World.
Roll credits.
Let's be honest. No one's impressed by a dinosaur anymore.
Tell that to the viewers that made this 2015's biggest hit. Also, Jurassic World steals the same reason Monsters, Inc. is in business to justify the plot.
Well, how did you get two different kinds of dinosaurs to,
Oh, Indominus wasn't bred. She was designed.
Blah, blah, blah. No one asked you, B.D. Wong. I'm sure Ron Howard's daughter could have told him that, but hey, glad you could make it to the Jurassic comeback. You didn't miss much between. Is there somebody who comes back and covers this stuff in dirt every 10 minutes or so? Or is this some sort of exclusive
Yeah.
archaeological dig that these kids
I was
won in a
wondering about
contest?
that too.
That first park was legit.
Movie acknowledges the first film's events as canon, but this new park was still somehow built.
You close the deal.
Looks like it. Verizon Wireless presents the Indominus Rex.
Movie chock full of product placements makes fun of brand deals so that Hollywood will seem more like people.
What's true?
Is clear.
You're not even looking at her, dude.
And that?
It tried to break the glass.
But only the one time and never again since, because while it's a smart dinosaur, it's actually quite stupid, you see? We've been taught that raptors are so insanely smart they can figure out puzzles and attack in patterns and shit. But apparently with enough gung-ho attitude, you can train them to be your bitches.
Don't talk about Star-Lord like that.
A real Bond.
This just in, Chris
Save your
Pratt is the
galaxy.
new Bond.
We know that the military needs to reduce casualties.
Introducing probably the worst part of this movie, the already supervillain company hoping to recruit these animals for war purposes. But what do they need these dinosaurs for when they have the T-virus? Or am I confusing my movies again? Also, if a military is using raptors to fight wars, don't other militaries just decide to bomb the living out of such a
Use
fighting
raptors
force?
to fight
You don't
Daredevil.
send dudes on the ground to fight raptors, right?
Drones can't search tunnels and caves, and they're hackable. The minute a real war breaks out, all that fancy tech is gonna go dark.
So better bank on velociraptors. Makes perfect sense.
That's a terrible idea.
Let's see, things are getting boring and we need an action scene. Let's have this guy be inept at his job. Also, is a loose pig really that urgent a problem? Aren't the pigs only here to serve as food for the dinosaurs anyway?
Right?
Okay. Good. Good.
I'm pretty sure there's a 95% chance he would be eaten here. But with the evil military guy here, these raptors are going to do everything in their power to move that plot forward. And they try and eat him as soon as he moves for the safety of the gate. But later they'll be running alongside his motorcycle, not chomping on his delicious face.
Don't ever turn your back to the cage.
which is what I'm going to do right now. I know this is Costa Rica, where laws may be more lax, but this is just an insurance fucking nightmare, this park. Again, how did it ever get built? Even out of the U.S. They're going to be sued 2,500 times a year at a minimum.
Cover up your door pouch.
Interestingly, this is also how
I
kangaroos
was
mock their
looking at
nerdy
the
siblings.
little
This place
apatosaurs
sells
getting
dino balloons with
the
almost no
chokehold.
helium in them, so
Really?
they appear to be
Oh,
walking
yeah.
on the ground, which means they lose what little helium they have very quickly and are just an overpriced brief waste of time. At least if you buy the pterodactyl balloon, it comes with full helium out of the box. Am I supposed to laugh
they
or
make
wince
balloons
at
like
this?
that, though,
Jurassic
already.
World,
Like,
the
I've
theme
seen them.
park, feels half
It's legit.
parody
The
of the
legs weigh
over-commercialization
down.
of Disney
Yeah,
and other
plus
theme
the-
parks, and half actually what would
that's
happen in
way
this
after.
movie's reality.
The next T-Rex feeding will begin in 10 minutes.
Movie expects me to believe that only this one child is running for the T-Rex exhibit after that announcement. Do you even
Did
kids
you
getting
even
around?
kid?
Wow, cell phone reception is excellent on a remote Costa Rican island. I went to Montana last summer and found out T-Mobile doesn't have any service in that state, like at all. But the Costa Rican Ocean f***ing blanketed in cell coverage.
Dude, there's a perfect.
This was supposed to be
I'll-
a family
I'll
weekend,
rant after
Claire.
this.
Well, if he had
There's
Verizon,
apparently no such
no,
thing
no,
as
no,
calling the guy on the
I'll
phone when it
rant
comes to
after
asking
this.
for his help. Nope, we need a full scene of Chris Pratt exerting his male dominance over the alpha female. Also, I wonder how much Jurassic World paid Mercedes to slide this movie into their car commercial.
Made.
What? Owen's nickname must be Danielson. Did this movie just have its jock hero catch a fly in midair? Jesus.
He's Star Wars.
First
Come
off,
on.
he's not a
Raptors,
jock.
it's a relationship.
It's bullshit,
He's an
whatever label you
anti-hero.
want to put on
There's
it,
a
dude.
That's why you and I never had a second date.
Why
like
is it
if
every
you save
time
the
there's a
entire
woman who needs to
galaxy,
find
he can
some man
snatch
for a
fly
job
out
in
of the
movies
air.
they've dated before?
You might want to change your shirt. They're very sensitive to smell.
Way to get back at him for all that sexist dialogue, toots. I mean, this is the 30s, right? I can get away with calling her that. Only the first row or two got slickers, even though roughly 32 rows were drenched by the mosasaur spray.
We've been pre-booking tickets for months.
Okay, what? You waited until now to seek an expert's opinion on the paddock? And also, this is the first anyone's hearing about it on the island, even though it's been public knowledge on the mainland for 3 months?
The base genome is a T-Rex. The rest is classified.
You might as well say raptor then, or lie. Also, how can you ask a dude to evaluate the prospective worthiness of a dino paddock without telling him what he's dealing with? I know we're supposed to understand that InGen hires these lax, lazy security guards because they don't give a fuck, but come on, this is just piling on.
With siblings, they learn social skills, and I imprint on them when they're born.
And now I'm picturing that creepy Twilight baby. Thank you. Also, we just heard that the Indominus was born with a sibling. She ate it. So all this smart talk by Owen to make him look like the world's foremost authority on dino psychology and shame the company for their misdeeds comes off just a little hollow when we know that. Plus, she never tells Owen this for some reason. Claire gets in the car and calls HQ about tracking the Indominus, instead of doing that before leaving the paddock. Remember, this thing could be anywhere, including the parking lot. Also, we can show how deaf this new dinosaur is, and so she can't relay the information in time to Owen, who stupidly goes inside the cage. When you think about it, this is just the Indominus's protest against Jurassic Park 3. Radio craps out right when they need it to work, and despite the excellent cell phone coverage demonstrated earlier. Like all doors in these movies, they close with the speed of a VIC-20 computer. Meanwhile, you have a SeaWorld attraction at your park where you can lower a whole stadium of people in way less time. Let me get this straight. The guy who got out of the paddock first decided, I'll hide in front of my truck, instead of, getting in the truck and driving away. That's what you get for eating sandwiches on the job. It's amazing InGen thought this dinosaur would be their business savior, when it's basically just T-Rex 2, the Rexening.
My wife, she came at me with a steak knife. Took a chunk out of her arm.
Do you get the sense Vincent D'Onofrio invented this backstory about raising a wolf pup strictly for his character? Amazing the guy who wants to use raptors for war has this convenient history to share. Yep, this also looks like a serious death risk for the park visitors. What control systems are in place to keep this herd from knocking over the truck?
If mom and dad get divorced, will one of us be with mom and the other with dad?
Who gives a
That's
shit?
another
In
one I'm gonna
fact,
have to
who
wait
gives a
on.
shit about these kids? At least Lex and Tim were part of the action from the get-go. These kids were dropped off by a Z-rated babysitter and they offer nothing, absolutely nothing to this
That's
movie.
true.
I googled the divorce lawyers.
Which happens, dads leave, no need to be a pussy about it.
Look, you're gonna get 2 everything, right? You're gonna get 2 birthdays, 2 Thanksgivings, 2...
I don't want
That whole
to
thing
live
didn't really add anything
Except
to the movie.
parents,
No, it
right?
didn't.
It's like
How do you not shut down all attractions and
divorce
issue an
plot
evacuation
line that
order
never
with a
gets
genetically
resolved.
enhanced hybrid T-Rex on the loose?
I need to see a badge.
How the f*** did the elevator even allow him on this floor? You know you can make elevators do amazing things these days, right? Including keeping out unauthorized personnel?
She marked up that wall as a distraction. She wanted us to think she escaped.
And she knew that you had cameras that detected thermal signatures and somehow knew she needed to reduce her body temperature so she couldn't be detected. I know when I was born, I already had the theory of calculus down pat. So that's legit.
I mean,
You're going after her with non-lethals.
We have $26 million invested in that asset.
Movie steals the Paul Reiser from Aliens.
That's her tracking implant. She clawed it out.
How would it know to do that?
She remembered where they put it in.
And she knew exactly what it was, apparently. They're putting something in my body? Must be a way to track me. That's kind of cool, actually. But this is the last time this really smart dinosaur does anything cool the rest of the movie. All it becomes after this is a remorseless eating machine.
Evacuate the island.
We'd never reopen.
Oh, okay then. Keep it open. Dinosaur nerd kid cliche bumps up against older brother is only interested in girls cliche, and I'm honestly actively rooting for both these dickheads to die, so there.
If their genetic code was pure, many of them would look quite different.
But take that, people who nitpick Jurassic Park on the look of the dinosaurs.
I remember
Shame on you,
talking
nitpickers.
about that
Shame!
before the movie
Hey
was
there,
made.
I'm Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon.
Gosh.
No, we can stay out a couple more minutes.
Dinosaur Amusement Park allows rides that can be personally controlled by teenagers.
Hello?
They made these where there's no communication available other than your own cell phones. It's almost like Engine was writing a screenplay when they made these things.
I'm just worried that you're not getting the full Jurassic World experience.
Amazing, on the day that Claire's nephews came to the park, that's when all the went down. And they're assholes too, which makes it even more fun.
And there's 5 dinosaurs.
Aren't you supposed to be a genius or something?
Yeah, genius. If you see 5 dinosaurs, including one that looks like the T-Rex got dipped in X-Men mutagen, why are you being so goddamn vague and calm about it? Also, Indominus Rex's path manages to go exactly where the people we're supposed to care about go. The phone call intended to help save the kids actually puts the kids in further danger. This happened in the last movie.
Yes.
Movie thinks that I will experience satisfactory thrills if it literally repeats the first movie's kids in peril scene, but with a change from night to day and 2 boys instead of a brother and sister. Indominus managed to miss 2 kids with what is basically a huge jagged piece of glass at this point. Thank God dinosaurs hate water. The baby doll from American Sniper thinks this looks fake as shit.
It didn't eat it. It's killing for sport.
And that, my friends, is how a dinosaur gets more character than all the humans in this movie.
Owen, we have a situation here.
Has this guy really been tracking Hoskins' movements this whole time? When he's not training raptors, is he this island's official Coast Guard or something?
Zach! Grace! Hey, I am not one of your damn animals.
Does this woman know anything about dinosaurs?
Stay here.
Stay here? Stay here? What the f? Jurassic World is so concerned it's not paying enough respect to Jurassic Park, it puts in a whole scene paying respect to Jurassic Park.
You remember when we fixed up Grandpa's old Malibu, right?
Ah, sudden car savviness. Even before the dino breakout, this park is clearly over capacity.
That thing is a killing machine.
He's talking about Indominus Rex, but he could just as easily be talking about Hoskins' diet.
Go take this. You're stronger than me.
Just goes to show, guys, if you've been an asshole to your brother all your life, all it takes is an Indominus Rex attack to set yourself straight. Once again, the Indominus finds its way around the main characters, but all we've been hearing about is how it's making a beeline south towards the park. This is not too far from where we last saw her, when she was attacking those 2 kids before they ran here. So, I guess despite the fact she's currently moving south, she's doing it in a zigzaggy east-west motion. Dinosaur we know has knowledge of thermal radiation and tracking devices didn't bother taking Owen's gun on the way out. Hey, I remember that scene. Well, I mean, we have to acknowledge that the Indominus isn't that big a target, so even the best of us could miss something like this. Hey, I have an idea about how we can get to the silly plotline with Hoskins and the War Raptors. Let's have the owner of InGen fly his helicopter, make absolutely no impact on the plot, crash, and die.
Okay, that's it. We're safe now.
Why would you say this? Teardemic. Movie leaves behind the 2 brothers for a bit so we can experience true horror and seed our future
That was a
nightmares by
horrible
traveling
scene.
along with this
That-
chick as
that
she gets
poor
repeatedly
babysitter.
captured, tortured,
I
and
know.
eaten by flying dinosaurs. Also, a lot of you love this scene, and I don't know if I blame you, but for the very fact that Zara never once was a character in this movie, merely playing an occasional cutaway shot, the impact this scene could have had is lost because she's really not much above an extra in this movie. Something sharp
Could've had
crashes
a-
towards characters and comes to a complete stop at the
Could've
last
had a
second
bigger
cliche.
impact.
This is a good time to do that.
And he has this insane plan to use the raptors to hunt the Indominus.
You mean the giant genetically enhanced dinosaur we haven't seen or heard from in almost 20 minutes of screen time? I know Hoskins is insane, so maybe sinning the fact that he thinks this is going to work is ridiculous in itself. But the guy saw Owen control the raptors one time from an elevated position, and suddenly that equals, now we can use the raptors to fight Indominus. I think even insane people would need more data.
This is happening. With or without you.
We'll
So
do it
the release
live.
of the raptors into the open is happening. With or without the only guy who can somewhat control them? This statement might be the dumbest thing in this entire movie.
Yeah.
Empty threat is empty. Owen has all the power here.
You remember that ghost at the old house?
You mean the one that made him go into the further? Probably not. Also, the movie hints at a much better movie
That's
we will
good.
sadly never see. Luckily, the Indominus, somehow knowing she had a tracking device lodged in its skin and tearing it out, becomes a convenient way for the raptors to ironically track her the old-fashioned way. Also, at what point did they get this patch of skin with the tracker back? Remember when the soldiers found it? This guy was holding it, got thrown into the water and stomped. So I guess they sent people on a mission to go recover that piece of flesh? And the only way they could find it, the tracker, remained miraculously intact? So the big final plan is for the raptors to lead the way to Indominus, followed by Owen on a motorcycle, French dude on a four-wheeler, and the kids and girl they're trying to protect in
That's
the
a good
van
point.
that
Why
follows.
were they
These
following him in
raptors
the
somehow
van?
raced toward this Indominus as though they thought the 4 of them could defeat it. But now that they're facing it, they're like, oh, dude, what were we thinking?
They're communicating.
Yeah, but doesn't the Indominus have zero social skills? Wasn't that the reason it became a murdering psychopath? So the raptors just instantly fall in line with this thing because it's big and it speaks raptor? Movie turns into Turok Evolution.
Turok Evolution.
Call it a chopper.
I'm not sure why I only thought of this now, but just do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to thank you for your patience.
While many of you were being killed.
Someone has to stay behind.
They do? What have you done to this point that requires your presence? Sure, you get your big moment later when you open the T-Rex paddock, but that's about it.
Nature is the gift.
Well, I'm glad to see him get his comeuppance, especially at the hands of a raptor. But Deep Blue Sea called, and they'd like their character suddenly killed during a big speech back. Also, a random raptor shows up on the scene, apparently knowing the layout of the lab to run straight to this room. Interrupts Hoskins' mid-monologue, knows who the bad guy of this movie is, and goes straight for him. Well, they're blocked on both sides by raptors when the end looks near, which means the heretofore unseen T-Rex is going to save the day, because we're paralleling the first movie hard here, people. God damn it. A minute ago, you guys said, Owen, I love the Indominus now. Now that Owen takes your harnesses off, you suddenly switch sides for no real apparent reason other than raptor-stalgia?
Larry, are you still there?
Why did you specifically radio for Lowry? Did you know that the slacker guy was going to be the one person to stay behind? Is this a Marvel movie? Are we once again going to see something fight its slightly bigger twin? She cannot outrun a T-Rex. Remember the first movie when they're in the Jeep? Must go faster? Jeff Goldblum's torso? I thought y'all were kidding about the heels, but goddamn. Yes. What, you mean you're not going to try and get her on your side? Thankfully, the T-Rex they released is more interested in killing genetically enhanced dinosaurs than it is in killing humans. Where the f did this thing come from? I thought all the raptors were dead. Raptor X Machina, I guess. Everywhere these assholes run, the fight follows them. This is an awesome ending, but how did the underwater thing know that the Indominus thing was right here at this moment doing Indominus things?
Saw it from the water. Also, I totally called that
diplomacy. Why do we just assume
did.
that because the Indominus is dead, all the danger is over now? There are loose animals all over the park, but I guess after the T-Rex and the raptor had their heart-to-heart, all the wild dinosaurs just know when enough's enough. We promise not to get divorced now.
Wow.
The divorce thing didn't really add to that story.
138. Wow.
Yep.
All right. So, so
no, there's still a scene, right?
There's still stuff after. So we gotta wait for that.
Apollo 13 flight controllers, listen up.
Now, please, we are flying.
That's good.
Wait, what the hell? It's in the cage.
The call is coming from inside the house.
There is another.
Hunger Games, really?
The Jets are gonna have their day tonight.
West Side Story,
the
really?
Jets are gonna have their way tonight.
We're going to pull together and we're gonna find a way to get out of here. First, we're gonna seal off this pool.
That's perfect.
Yeah, we cool.
Oh, Pulp Fiction, yes.
Oh man.
I was gonna say someone did a parody of of the when the Mosasaurus came out of the pool and grabbed the Indominus. It was pretty much like they called it creepy Uncle Mosasaurus. It was oh hey, you're new here, let's go for a swim, boy. Yeah. Pulled it in.
That is so much worse.
I know.
Oh.
Come on, boy, let's go for a swim. Yeah. But
wow.
Yeah, so there was a lot wrong with Jurassic World, but I still enjoyed it.
Right.
I mean, yeah. No, they made a lot of good points. I still thought it was a fun movie too.
No, I did too. The ending, just the fight scene between the T-Rex, the Indominus, and the Raptor.
Mm-hmm.
That to me made up for the shit way the T-Rex went out in Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah, that's super cool.
It was just like yeah, and I was like, when the Indominus had the T-Rex down, I'm like, you are not gonna do this again, you son of a gun. If you do it, I'm walking out. And then here comes Blue out of nowhere. I was like, yes.
Well, that kind of shocked me because I seriously thought all the raptors were dead at that point.
Well, all the other raptors,
because Blue got knocked first. I thought she just like took a claw right in the side and was dead, and then you saw the other two plainly die.
Yeah, one exploded in a gas fire, and the other one was like thrown into a building and like broke its neck. But Blue came back, and I think Blue getting knocked first. I think it didn't show a definitive death for Blue, and that's a justification for
no,
what
it's
coming
fine. I seriously wasn't expecting it because I was like counting. I was like, okay, there are no more raptors.
There's the one with the rocket launcher.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Then the rocket launcher one.
Yeah,
that was random. It was just sitting there. And
yeah. Well, those unexpected moments like that, the ones you don't expect, some of those are some of the best moments. It's just it had to be wrapped around such a crap storyline. Vincent D'Onofrio always adjusting his belt line. I'm the obvious bad guy.
Well, he wasn't as bad as Charlie Hunnam in Pacific Rim. I mean, not adjusting, but he's always got his.
He's always like got his thumbs hooked in his pockets.
Oh
as he's
yeah,
walking
yeah. It's just.
Pacific Rim's still awesome.
Oh
right?
yeah, and Pacific Rim too. I'm glad they're. Well, they've confirmed that they are actually going to do it.
Yeah.
Finally, thank God. But yeah, I still enjoyed Jurassic World. Now after seeing how it should have ended and everything wrong and CinemaSins' take on it, I can get there are things about it that don't make sense. Like Bryce Dallas Howard outrunning a T-Rex in high heels.
Well, it's like when a mom flips a vehicle off her baby. She's like, I gotta save my nephews with this flare and a T-Rex.
It's just the adrenaline. I mean, I do know some women that can run in high heels, but that's still. I mean, T-Rex, they clocked it like 40 miles per hour in the original
40
movie.
miles per hour, caught up to a daggone Jeep.
Well, yeah, but see, it's 20 years older in this movie.
Well, that's
it's
true.
not the same T-Rex.
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah, it is.
It's canon. It's the same
yeah,
T-Rex.
It is. It's just like the Papa T-Rex in Jurassic Park 2. You know, the one that came with the son, or it came with the baby T-Rex. That was the one that died in Jurassic Park 3.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
because that was the second island.
Yeah.
Well,
I knew it was the same island. I just didn't know how many there were.
Because
they don't really gauge the populations for you to really know.
No, they
but,
don't.
I mean, how many super predators do you really need on a little island?
I don't know. I mean,
there are some things like some of the CinemaSins don't make sense because it's like.
Getting back to that, the whole thing about Costa Rica having better cell reception than Montana, reason for that is Costa Rica is a tourist hotspot.
Yeah.
There is a reason why they have cell towers there. Who wants to to go to Montana? Who wants to go to freaking Montana?
Well, but see, the thing is, it's at least
unless you want
it's
that.
at least a ferry ride away from Costa Rica, so really not that far for a ferry.
No, not at all, dude. There's better cell phone reception in Puerto Rico than in the most mainland part of the United States. There's better coverage in the Virgin Islands.
You're pretty because the Indominus was sponsored by Verizon.
Well,
you see, you would think they would have good stuff.
I can't really comment on that, but the deal with where he talked about how they just fought the Indominus and it's like the T-Rex and the Raptors are cool. Typically apex predators are really careful, so lions don't generally just fight other lions for no reason. So if there's a threat to territory, yeah, but generally unless they're just super hungry, they don't really engage in violent activities. They're really careful about what they do. So I feel like the Indominus was an aberration, so everything's going to try and kill it because it's so violent. But
it's not just violent. Because it goes again. Well,
but
for the most part, the dinosaurs in this are within the natural order, order of where they were in the animal kingdom when they were still around.
Yeah.
Then the Indominus comes, minus the feathers, of course, because they, as B.D. Wong suggested in the movie, made them more reptilian, made them more for the wow factor. But pretty much they're the same. They're the same thing.
Sure.
The Indominus is pretty much against nature.
Yeah,
it's pretty much genetics. It's pretty much genetics against nature.
That's right. Any kind of aberration, they're gonna torch and pitchfork it. I mean, that's
pretty much.
So there wasn't a reasonable cause for them to start killing each other after all that because that there was the only apparent threat. Unless they were just super hungry, but it doesn't make sense to try.
I don't think they were.
Generally, when apex predators are hungry, they don't try and eat another apex predator.
I think Blue is pretty full because. You don't forget she ate a lot of those men out in the forest.
So at that, even in nature, you don't really see apex predators eating other apex predators. That doesn't really.
No,
it wasn't really
they
about
fight whenever territory is under threat.
Right.
That's really it. Which
is a lot rarer than one would think. Because honestly, a lot of herding animals will fight more than for territory and mates and stuff. Look at mountain goats. I mean, good night. They're you want to talk about a violent animal? You ever seen one of those knock another one off of a cliff? It's terrifying.
Rambro.
I mean, yeah.
Rambrocephus.
Well, not exactly him, but like the ones that like the super like rocky cliffs.
I was just gonna say it's just like baboons. Have you seen the baboons? The cliff dwelling baboons in Africa. Some of them like pick each other up and throw each other off the cliffs and everything. It's just like whoa. It's like what's the point of all that? It's just like I want my nookie. Wow.
Well, yeah. So I feel like that was understandable because I don't feel like those would have really had any reason to fight each other after all that.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I'm still happy I saw Jurassic World. I'm still glad it did really good at the box office. I mean, highest grossing film of the year when everyone thought Age of Ultron was going to be it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think
I like both of them.
I do too.
But there's always something you can pick apart.
Right.
I mean,
yeah, that's always.
I almost kind of feel bad for the guy that does it because it's like, do you think every movie is ruined for him? He just has to like sit there and be like, I have to find everything wrong with this movie to the point that I just really don't enjoy anything anymore.
Who? CinemaSins?
Yeah.
Well, the guys who run it, they love film. They love film, and they originally got into this just to be comedic.
Mm-hmm.
They don't do the whole this scene does not contain a lap dance anymore.
Yeah.
But it's but they've gotten more literal with it. They've gotten more literal, and they've gotten to the point of where they actually do point out inadequacies and inaccuracies in the story.
Mm-hmm.
And I get that, and I like that. I like when they do that. But
so hopefully Hollywood will get the message and start making better movies.
No, they don't care, dude. Hollywood will still put out crap and say it's art. And yeah, it's asinine to think Hollywood will change. But yeah, so what did you all think of Jurassic World? Let us know in the comments down below what you thought. Let us know if you thought any sins were unwarranted or invalid because of inadequacies. But guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. We hope you have enjoyed this video. As always, leave a comment down below if there's another video you want us to watch. Leave a like if you like the video. Check the description for our various other endeavors. And also check down there for more updates on the Outpost. We will start posting those we'll actually start posting those exclusively for right now on Facebook. And, well, that's going to be it for the Renegades here. And everyone else out there, we will see you later, Internet. Peace out.